Welcome. If you're hearing this, it's 2025, and you've made it to another X and One Legion cast. It's me, Randy. I'm with Mitchem and Matt. We're back. We survived. How's it going?
What's up, guys? Man, it's been too long. I've missed that, Randy. I've missed it.
I am so excited to be here. We made it. We took a little break, but we're back. We're refreshed, and we're ready to roll into 2025 Legion. Should be a huge year. So very excited.
That's what they keep telling us. So,
Oh, yeah.
Gotta believe it at some point.
We're going to be talking about that in this episode for sure. But before we get into that, we are going to take a look back at our... if you deign to be brave enough to go listen to our first episode, I don't recommend it. We're definitely getting our technical sea legs still. We did go over our goals for 2024. And we're going to check in on how we did with our Legion goals for the year. And we will also get into what our plans are for 2025. And then we'll see what the plans are for Legion for 2025 so far. The end of last year, AMG did say, hey, twice a year, there's going to be small updates as needed. And of course, there's Adepticon and mini straps, so things will change and shift, I'm sure. But we will see what the roadmap looks like as we know it at this point. But before we get too much further, let's get into a little goals harassment for 2024. Who would like to go first?
You want the good news or the bad news? Well, I'll go first.
Okay, lay it on us.
So, I may have in my 2024 naivete decided that I should play one game of Legion a week. That did not happen. I am sad to say. I did not. So one game a week.
The hubris.
One game a week, as you know, is 52 games of Legion. I did some napkin math before the cast, and I'm sitting around 30, which is, I feel like that's pretty good. This is in-person games. I played a few TTS games. I'm not counting. So I didn't get there. I did have a baby, so that I'm gonna try to bring out the baby as an excuse. So, but yeah,
it's a good excuse. It's a good excuse.
It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. But so it is a big fail for me. I did do more hobbying than I thought I would. I think I painted about 45 or so minis when it's all said and done. So I think that's a pretty good win for me. I know some people who are good hobbyists are like, 45. What are we doing? But I think I did okay. I am not going to do 52 minis or 52 games again this year because I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because I'm already behind. So we're already a weekend and I have only played like one game. So here we go. But I'm a failure. I'm sorry. I submit myself to you guys to harass me for my lack of completion of my goals.
I don't feel like we can be too tough on you. Although we got to be more realistic this year, man. We got to be more realistic.
So I went back and watched, and I was like, "What did I say I was going to play?" Because I had forgotten, and then I was like, "Wow, that's not a good choice I made." So yeah, fair enough. So what about you, Mitchem? We've crowed about your goal you've made. So here's your victory lap.
Yeah. Let's see. So my goal beginning of the year was to paint 52 models. So one a week. And yeah, I mean, I kind of knocked that out of the park, and I've been sitting here for the last half of the year, just not really painting and ignoring all of my hobby as you can see from my lovely paint desk back here. It's completely full of models that are just left unattended and everything. There is, you probably can't see it, but there is a second bus somewhere down there. Oh no, can't see it. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah. So I've it was fun. It was really cool to see like my painting skills increase as I've got towards the end. I don't know if I learned a lot of like different techniques, but I learned how to batch paint. I learned how to like pick a color scheme for my units and stick with it. So, and then I learned a lot about basing and stuff. It was really interesting to see like the models I first painted versus the models I painted at the end and stuff like that. And so I'm really excited to get all these new clone models in, which we'll talk about later, because I've kind of figured out how I want to paint them, and they're going to look a lot better than what I originally did. So I'm really looking forward to that. And my rebels have come along pretty well too. So I I actually took home 2 Best Painted awards, this year as well in our local events and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. So I there wasn't a lot of competition. So I think it's just because I had a fully painted army and it was based. So I think that was my only competition in the 2 events, which is fine. Which is fine. I'm looking at my trophy shelf right here, so I'll take it. So that was nice to know that it's nice. I think I've gotten to the point where like if a unit's not painted, I really don't want to play it because it looks bad on the table. So, and before I wasn't like that. So I think that's kind of helped that a lot. So yeah, thanks Randy for giving me that challenge and or kind of giving me the idea. So, and yeah, we'll see what 2025 is in store for us.
That is tough on the unpainted stuff because sometimes you just want to get it on the table to try it as quick as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like that with Sleeper Cell, and it's just because I have one that's built, one that's primed, and then one that's like 90% painted, and it's just I want to play them so bad because they're good, but
Yeah.
I haven't had found time to sit down and paint them.
It's weird because you kind of want to be an ambassador for the game too. And when someone
Yeah.
comes up, you're like, oh yeah, check out these cool Star Wars models. Well, don't look at these though.
Oh, don't look at these! No,
Yeah.
no.
I promise they're so cool when they're
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
For sure.
Very nice.
I just tell people that we don't care about painting, so it's fine. It's like, yeah, see, look, these guys aren't even painted. You know, they're built, and I'm playing with them. That's all that really matters. So.
Yeah, get them to buy in, and then we'll hobby harass them into shape.
Yeah, exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
So, Randy,
Yes,
did you make it? We were kind of in doubt. Did you make it?
it was December 31st, and I finished my 2 Black Suns to get to my 60 for the year. I did not resort to painting a trash can or a traffic light or anything like that to finish out the year, so I'm quite proud. I think I'm going to. I've been posting most, if not, probably not all the minis I did last year on Instagram, our X and One Instagram, but I think I might make a little collage of everything I did, or just some of the highlights, anyways. I think the mall Shadow Collective bus I did was probably my favorite mini I did this year. It just came out better than I had planned in my head, even, and so it's every time I put it on the table, it just makes me happy to see it. So, yeah, really stoked for that. I also looked at the episode to see what my other goals were. Another one was running the narrative event, the Galaxy at War. Did that last year. That was pretty cool. I think Travis and I are going to cook another one of those up for this year at some point. People seemed to enjoy that last year. And then let's see. Another goal I had was to play some Rebels, I think, at an event. I don't know if that was in that video, but it definitely became a goal. I did not get there. The plan was like post LSO. I was going to try and run some lists, but a little thing called 2.6 happened. And it was just a panic mode of like, I need to make sure I've got enough to play with. So I stuck with that. But yeah, and I don't know if I had set the goal of getting a table done, but I did get my Bespin table playable. There are still some pieces that need painting, and I think the last time I pulled it out, I was like, some of the stuff's just like busted up or needs cleaning up. And also, I got that new Bamboo Labs printer, and it's bigger, and some of the pieces I printed was on a smaller resin printer, which isn't great for big pieces of terrain. So part of me is like, should I just reprint this? So I might be reprinting some things.
Well, some of the stuff I printed for you originally on my Ender, and then I reprinted the same terrain later on the Bamboo. So much better.
Yeah, I know. It's like a burn victim before and after.
Yeah.
Some of those.
It's so much better. So
this building's a little melty, and this building's really nice.
yeah.
No, it's not that bad, especially once they're like kind of painted up, anyways. But yeah, no. But I'm pleased with the overall aesthetic of that table. But there's still a couple pieces I think it needs to be added. I want some more height pieces. It's just finding the time. But yeah, I really down to the wire there on the minis. So I'm gonna try. I always say I'm gonna try and do better next year, and I guess I do on the number, but not on the procrastination.
You see like a mid-year goal.
Like a check-in.
Yeah, check in.
I mean, like I have a monthly average I need to hit, but obviously that doesn't help me that much. I blame the podcast. I set the goal, and then it's like, oh, well, now you've got things to edit. It's like, well, great. No, I'm just kidding.
Cool. Are we going into 2025 goals? Do we have goals for 2025? I have goals.
Sure.
I have goals. Okay.
Lay it on us.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do a play count goal. I've got 2 goals.
Because I was about to say, I think I doubled your
His
play
goal
count.
is to play Legion in 2025.
Yes. Yep. So we're going. Yeah. So I'm gonna play, but we'll just not tie that to a goal.
I got 70 games in, Matt. So rookie numbers. You need to pump those numbers up.
I'm gonna do what Mitchem did last year. I'm gonna do 52 minis.
Oh,
this year.
We did it, Randy. We got him. We got him.
And I'm also gonna try to finish my table. Spice Boy HQ.
We need the spice tape.
I have most of the terrain printed, but so.
Hey man, terrain pieces count, dude. Terrain pieces count.
And as a token of my dedication to the 52 models, here's some models I've been working on. These are not Star Wars Legion, but there's some Halo boys.
Get those Halo models out of here. You can go listen to our Halo podcast if you want to.
Hey,
see
also,
them Halo models.
How's that Fluttercraft going? Are you gonna snip some more pieces here?
I'm not gonna deceive the fine people.
That is goal number 2. Complete a Fluttercraft.
I'm not going to deceive the fine people of this podcast into believing that I'm going to do that enough during the hobby section of this podcast to finish it within a year. So I'll have to do that some other time. But yeah, it's in the state I left it in the last podcast. So
okay,
yeah, no progress on the Fluttercraft.
That's fair.
But
well, solid hobby goal. Any play goals you're trying to hit?
I want to go to at least one big event this year. So that's my goal. I'm gonna miss LVO, which is very sad for multiple reasons, especially we'll talk about here in a second. I'm gonna miss Adepticon because the baby is too baby still. But I'm hoping maybe for later in the year I can hit one of the bigger events. So that's my goal. I'd love to go to a big event. We usually bring stickers and POIs and fun stuff. I might love to just go and hand some stuff out, meet some people. So that's my play goal.
Yeah, awesome. Good goals.
Okay, Mitchem.
Oh shoot. On the spot. Okay, we'll start with play goals because those are a little easier. Let's see. I was just looking at my.
Don't worry,
stats.
I'll give you your hobby goals, Mitchell.
Oh, shoot. That's why I don't have to worry about them. Yeah, it's easier to be told what to do than what I'm going to do or whatever. Sorry, I was just looking at my 2024 Legion stats that I did for myself all year. And as I was saying, I played 70 games. However, my win percentage was not great. I had a 36% win percentage in 2024.
The 2.6 transition was rough.
The 2.6
Yeah.
transition was rough. Yes, it was.
Because I do feel like you were kind of hitting your stride with Old Legion
Mm-hmm.
when we got to LSO.
I was.
And then the new edition dumped you on you.
I did.
Yeah.
Granted, I was playing Commandos, and my Obi-Wan triple Commando list did go. I was 7-3 with that list, but I did not play Gar after July, and I just went back to Rebels because I wanted to figure them out. And there's a pretty good drop off between, like my first half of the year and the second half of the year compared to like how many wins and how many games I played and stuff like that. So, yeah. So I would like to get that win percentage back around like 50%. I'd like to be around a 50% win rate player, just to where like games can go either way and everything. I felt like here recently I haven't really had
You've been
the urge to
teaching a
play.
lot lately.
I have been teaching a lot, which I do enjoy. I do enjoy it a lot. And speaking of that,
well, I mean, that's how you're going to bump up that win rate right there. You're going to have some new guys to play again.
You got to bring in the baby seals so you can club them later. Yeah, that's my whole goal. Yeah, so I love teaching games. I love doing games. If you ever want a demo game, if you're in our local area within Oklahoma, just hit me up, and I'll be happy to teach you how to play Legion because I love doing that. I got two great guys into the game, Rhett and Brian. Been having a blast hanging out with them at EU. We're doing a great event on January.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's January.
It is
18th.
January.
2025. 18th. Yeah, we're doing like a play day. We're going to do a watch party of LVO. So if you want to come out to EU, and I will teach you how to play Legion. So anyway, back to my goals. Yeah, I want to get around 50% win rate. And I wouldn't mind winning a tournament this year either. I think that's a loftier goal, I think, but
Yeah.
We have a lot of good people in this
maybe
community.
just 3-0 tournament. That might be a good one. Just it's sometimes you go 3-0 and then the breaks don't go your way and you still lose. So,
but I'd love
you.
to. Yeah, I have one best rebel trophy over here on my shelf. I'd like another one. I'd like a Gar, but I kind of want to wait. I'm really waiting to get all those new models in Gar, like the new sculpts and stuff. That's kind of what I'm.
It's a weird way to say Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. So I guess I've had no desire to play Gar until I have the only desire to play Gar. So we're going to play Rebels when I can.
And in your defense, changing from Gar to Rebels and the edition change is a huge difference. Because
it was
Gar,
tough.
You went from Gar with old cover to Rebels with new cover.
Yeah. It's been tough. Just trying to finding what I like. Figuring out just the play style in the new game and everything. It was tough. It felt like I was just throwing stuff at a wall and it was not sticking. So I finally found something. But I want to get away from this Han crutch I've kind of built for myself. So I need to play something else. So yeah, I want to play some other units, some other commanders in Rebels, just to try to see what they're like. I want to try to make Ahsoka work.
It breaks my heart every time you bring in
I know,
a Rebel list with no Ahsoka, because that was the whole point.
I know.
That was the whole point.
She's just not good. She's just not great. So I'm gonna keep trying though. I need to get away from the Han, like the Han 3 command cards that you have to bring, that you have to play. So I have been enjoying Double Bounty. Double Bounty's been really fun. IG's super fun. Den's super fun. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really decided. I think another goal, and something that I'm really bad at, is I'll play a list. I'll build a list. I'll play it once. I'll lose with it. And I'm like, okay, this list is trash. I'm never going to play it again. and so I immediately change it or switch to something else. I've gotten better in the fact that like I have a nice core like template that I use for all my lists now. And right now that's like Rebel Officer, Han, triple ion gun, Rebel Troopers, and then whatever else. So I need to be better about playing a list 4 or 5 times to really work out all the kinks, play multiple missions with it, see what it's good at, so I can get those multiple repetitions in. Like, I shouldn't be playing a list less than 3 times after I build it, unless it's just really, really bad. So that's something else I need to work on too.
I kind of agree with that a little bit. I think sometimes when you're playing, you can just kind of feel the list when you're playing, win or lose.
Yeah.
I played one recently that I was pretty unsure. Like, I was like, this is a test. And like round 1, I was like, okay, this test is a failure. I don't need to tread this water anymore.
Yeah.
And then there's other times you play. It's like, okay, I lost this game, but I think I could have played it better, or I picked the wrong mission. So yeah, I think there's some truth to what you're saying. But also, don't hang on to a dead horse, I guess.
Sure.
So
yeah.
But I mean, you're playing probably as many games as me and Matt combined, so you got the time for it.
So yeah, I got some practice I can get to. So yeah.
All right, so you did 60 minis. Or no, 52. You did 52.
52.
I would say 60 would be the natural evolution.
Okay.
I mean, you hit 60 this year, didn't you? You hit over. I think you hit over 60. So I should go higher. But the reason we're not going to go higher, you may ask, is because I have 2 things I want to tackle. Okay?
Yeah, get him. Okay. Cook him.
Item number 1. I want at least 3 of those miniatures to be large base vehicles.
Oh, God. Oh,
I know you got at least 1 bus back there.
I do.
And, all the new clone stuff's going to be coming, so you'll probably have some ISPs you want to paint, or, hey, maybe the Saber's going to be worth taking.
I do have a Saber, and I do have an ISP.
All right, so I think that's good. And then, obviously, the second stipulation is I'm not making that number go up because you got to get that table done this year.
Oh.
I've got the Bestman table. Matt's going to have the Spice table. Preston's got that sick Camino table coming.
That Camino table is going to be awesome.
Dylan got his A1 mini, so he's working on a table. And then, I mean, Travis is always bringing like 10 tables to a tournament anyway. So, like, we need an all spice setup. So we need that Mitchem table.
I don't even know what I would do.
Oh, we can figure something out. Don't worry.
Yeah. It really all depends on what kind of mat I can get. I think that's really that's what's going to push me over the edge.
Worst case scenario, you do what you joked and you go to the aquarium store and you do your underwater map, which would totally fit the theme of the units coming out this year. So maybe not the worst idea anyways.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I could do Felucia. I think there'd be some pieces that I can add to that as well. Maybe like a downed ATTE, right? Something like that. And then just some, that would be a good base.
I've seen some Imperial Terrain Felucia stuff. Like,
really?
We could make it happen.
Maybe that's what I'll do, because I don't think there's a lot of. I'd like to do some like height 2 table stuff as well, just to kind of add some variety.
I think thematically the table I would love for you to do is the one from Mando season 2 with Ahsoka. Or is it season 1?
Oh, in the wall.
No, I think it's season
city.
The walled city. So like you'd have like a third of it be burnt forest, and then with the cut bell in half, and then the town.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
I feel like I've seen those files online, but that would be a lot more work. That would be a lot more work.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I would do. I think it would do all the town and have like the walls on the outside, and then like in the center.
Oh, like in the middle, it's just the town. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the center, I'd have like the the Japanese garden where where Ahsoka fought. What's her face?
The magistrate or whatever.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. By my records, by the way, it looks like I painted 62 models this year. So,
Very cool.
Okay.
Good job. Proud of you.
Okay. So table.
And 60 was stipulation.
Oh.
I know it's not fun to do those big vehicles. It's like painting multiple
I hate those.
multiple minis.
You're gonna need to airbrush.
I do need an airbrush.
That would be a great skill to pick up.
I
this
do
year.
need airbrush. That's probably something I need to invest in and learn how to do.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I think it's that or you're buying a 3D printer. One of those two.
I like that goal for
hey,
Mitchem.
I got multiple plethora of friends with 3D printers. I don't think we need to add another one to the mix. So
there's never enough.
Join us, Bamboo Labs. Anyway, so
Please sponsor.
Randy.
Yes.
What are we thinking?
Okay. So I'll do the hobby ones first because that's easy for me.
Okay.
I've already thrown the gauntlet down for myself. I put 72 for the year, so that'll be 6 a month. I've got 2 done already. I am reaping the rewards of some of last year's work, but yes, the past few days after that, I have been gluing. My fingers are covered in super glue. I glued up the last Black Sun unit I hadn't assembled. I glued up my first unit of sleeper cells, which I'll get into about that.
Nice.
And then I opened my last box of official premium bases. I know I probably should have sold those for like $1 million, right? Because they're out of print, but I am going to use those. I did find some print files for some that look kind of similar for the rest of my Rebel Army. And speaking of the rest of my Rebel Army, I did open my Bad Batch box, and I looked at it for a little bit, took the cards out, and put all those models back. I think they look really cool, but I think I'm going to save them for when like in 2030, whenever I play clones, maybe. And I got some sculpts offline, and it's like season 2, season 3 Bad Batch models. So I wanted Hunter with the scarf and stuff like that. So I'm gonna paint. So I've got those over here. So I'm also gonna be painting up Bad Batch, and then I'll probably go ahead and paint up the actual models too, just to have for, if somehow I do well enough at a tournament to get streamed. Don't want to be breaking any rules, that sort of thing. But so I'm gonna put Rebels on a table at an event this year for sure. I've played a couple TTS games with them just to try to get my feet wet again. But yeah, my Rebel Army theme is all Bespined out to kind of go with my table, so it'll be that gray with light blue on pretty much everything, and I'll try to find like ways to do some variation on that. I don't know how I landed on. I think it's a Battlefront 2 thing, like the OG Battlefront 2 game.
Oh yeah.
Like I think I just love the Bespin map from that game, and the Rebel Troopers had like a nice skin for that map, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
So,
well, the new Lando changes too will be nice.
Oh yeah, that'll be spicy. I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is that. I have some other hobby goals for Halo. I got a table I want to put together there, but I also want to add some other extra things to my Bespin table and just get it looking primo. I'd love to make some custom POIs for it too, for the different objectives. I think that would be a cool feature to have at tournaments if they had like special POIs there for the different objectives. I know that's asking a lot, especially at big tournaments, but for my one table that I'm babysitting myself, that'd be cool. Like shifting priorities, like maybe like people who are frozen in carbonite, like in their floating mode, moving around, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Custom POIs for the missions, not necessarily for the table.
The other thing that is the first time it happened was in Cloud City was the Cantomo. That guy running with the ice cream mixer can. The Cantomo, like that is in Empire Strikes Back. That's the first time. It was like a guy fleeing the city with the Cantomo, and that's the first time canonically it showed up. So you could do like a Cantomo POI.
Okay.
People love that thing. So
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I would love to do some POIs themed to my table as well. And some X-Men-1 themed stuff. I got some STL work I want to do there. As far as playing, I alluded to it already. I want to put Rebels on the table this year for sure. It's going to happen. And keep playing Shadow Collective. I feel like I've been doing okay with Shadow Collective. I don't know if I found anything that's like, oh yeah, this is my answer. It's a tough spot. And I don't know that I need an update to Shadow Collective. I just need all those units to be in other places so that I know that they'll keep getting updated. Like what's available in the Force, it's fine. It's just, will they ever look at Maul ever again? Right? And so if he's like in a Dathomirian battle force, which they've kind of alluded to, and there's that Savage art, then I'm good. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. That's all
and
I ask.
they also mentioned a Pike battle force potentially.
Yeah. Oh, if there's a Pike battle force, have CAD, give me them Scorpion droids. I'm down.
I feel like that's
That'd be cool.
up right in your wheelhouse. Like
Oh, yeah.
Bane Pike theme battle force. Like yes,
Yeah.
that is.
Just go each syndicate or each like I don't know Crown family
I've
battle
got,
force.
I've got them all. Yeah, you do a Black Summon Prince Seizure. Be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
and I feel like Hondo's got to come eventually, right?
he has to.
You'd think.
Hondo and his pirates and his cronies. I mean,
he's in Shatterpoint. That's all I'll say about that.
And then and Night Sisters as well. So
yeah,
I think
also
those are like the last two major factions. I think they're missing, quote unquote.
Yeah. So I'm excited, but yeah, definitely want to have Rebels to put on the table so I can bounce back and forth if I'm feeling a little frustrated.
Going
at times.
from one white save army to another white save army, you're not gonna miss much. So.
Well, I mean, the Black Suns I've been playing,
Black Suns are the
they're red
saves,
but I roll like they're white saves.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, I'm so funny.
Your dad, it comes with the territory.
But yeah, I would like to 3-0 a local. I did get a 3-0 day at LSO, which was awesome. But yeah, I'd like to. I don't need to get first. I don't need the points to break my way completely. But I would like to 3-0. And maybe I'd like to get best rebel at a tourney this year. I'll trade you one of my Shadow Collective ones.
He's just got a box that's just full of Shadow Collective.
Yeah, I think my daughter like tries to compliment me about it, but like she doesn't realize it just feels like she's trolling me.
Oh,
she does. Yeah, that's funny.
She's like, he always wins a trophy.
Yeah,
she's telling me,
here's your participation.
Yeah,
trophy,
she was telling
Dad.
me. She was telling me, she's like, my dad's really, he always wins a trophy. And I was like,
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
He does.
Maybe I need to start playing Shadow Collective so I can give
Yeah,
Mandy a run for money. Yeah, maybe.
Oh
man. Hey, you know what? The ones I won where I was higher than the other faction best, I count those.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
so
fair.
About like half of them.
I'll say,
but yeah.
You guys went on the Republic Best Player trophy. That's a freaking bloodbath every time. So.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's
those
what happens.
I treasure
those.
Those are, especially with Wookiees. It's like we are not the same.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Maybe Yoda will get some love this year.
Yeah.
So far, we're
heading the other direction, but maybe he will get some love this year.
Oh man. Well, cool. Yeah. I think we've got some good plans for the year, Sky. We've got some good plans for the year, guys. Let's get into talking about 2025. Before we go too far, though, there is an event that is happening like a week after this comes out, and we have a little special part of it. And Matt talked with LJ about what's going down with that. So let's take a quick listen to that before we get into the rest of 2025.
Hey, this is Matt, and I am here with LJ Pena, friend of the cast and one of the organizers for LVOIS and LVO. Kind of a man of many hats. How are you doing?
I am tired, excited, feel like I need a vacation from my Christmas vacation, but overall, just ready to get it moving.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm also excited. We've talked about it before, but LVO and the LVOIS is we're coming to an end on 2024. We're now in 2025, and how was it? Well, overall, what do you feel like? How did it go? Was it a success?
Yeah, honestly, I was blown away by the support that we had right from the get-go. There were a lot of questions in April about what was going to happen with Adepticon and Worlds and invites and organized play. And, we had an idea that we had been sitting on for a couple of years that we were like, hey, Jordan, now is the time. This is something we've talked about with Frontline Gaming forever. This is very similar to what they already do for 40K, Age Sigmar, etc. So, let's just do this thing and see what happens. And I think we came out at a really great place by the end of this 2024 season. Marvel Crisis Protocol had been doing this for a couple of years, and Tyson was like, "Hey, you probably want to shoot for 32 people or so for your first championship." And we had 122 events submitted for this season alone, for a total of 64 players that are going to be duking it out for the championship this month.
That is awesome, and I love the response. And I did also I agree with you. It was the perfect timing when that came out. It was right when we were kind of in flux, in limbo with what Worlds was going to look like, and it was just a really good thing. And I think it would really helped us, especially in our community. We had a lot of LVO events, and I know of a couple guys that are going to LVO that had not been planning on it because of the LVOIS system. So it is a pretty neat deal, and it did get some people to go that may not have been going. So
I do think that helped kind of maintain the high attendance that we've seen at the Las Vegas Open in the past. LVO and Adepticon kind of go back and forth on who's going to be the biggest event every year, and we had, I think it was 130 or so last year, and we should have up to 196 this time around between the GT and the champs, which is really exciting to see. I'm also glad you mentioned, it kind of energized that community, because we also, one of the major successes we saw this year was there was 16 different countries that participated in the LVOIS. I'm really excited. We have a TO and his buddy from Poland that are coming, that are going to participate in the GT. I think won the GT, won the LVOIS, that are obviously traveling because that opportunity was provided. And if we can keep doing that for communities out there, then we feel very successful, regardless of what the numbers end up being.
That is awesome. And I know that was one of the things I was hoping for, is that we could get a global representation at LVO. So that is really cool. Yeah. So you and I have been kind of collaborating lately, speaking of LVO, on maybe a prize for the event. And here, I'm going to share it real quick. I'm sorry, podcast people. You'll have to check it out on YouTube. We also post this to Instagram. It is a belt, a title belt. And there were some graphic teams involved with LVO that helped design this. And it is really cool. It's from Undisputed Belts, which I was very pleased with how the whole process went. And it's just a super cool prize that X1 is sponsoring, that we thought would be really cool for the winner of the LVOIS.
Yeah, we've got a couple fun things in store for participants from both events, but because it's our first championship, we really wanted to do something special that I have always wanted to do, but had never made the jump to do. And X1 was instrumental in helping get that across the finish line and get that produced and whatnot. So yeah, there it is. Our first championship belt, WWE style belt, for those of you who may not be looking at this time. It's got the LVO logo on the front, and then a couple logos that you'll see throughout the event if you attend, as well as a Frontline Gaming and an X1 logo. I will say, seeing it with a person in front of it or behind it, it is as ridiculous as you would think. It is ginormous, and I absolutely love it. And my only goal throughout the event is that, like, when Nima comes out to do his judge comments at the beginning of each day, I really hope he's wearing it like a sash, just walking around with the thing on his shoulder,
Yes.
because it is giant, ridiculous. And it came out great. I mean, I love the color printing they did on it. Looked really, really good. The metal, the gold, everything looks nice, and none of the colors. I was a little worried maybe something would get washed out.
Hmm.
But when you see it in person, everything looks really crisp and clean and whatnot. So yeah, whoever wins the event after how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games of Legion, 10 or 11 if they have participated in the GT first and get one of the final spots that will be open. Will definitely get a prize deserving of their time and effort, I think.
It just makes me smile looking at it because it's just so cool. I'm so sad I won't be able to be there. I'm hoping one of my Oklahoma boys can bring it home,
There you go.
to us. But it's definitely a worthy trophy for a worthy champion if they complete that grind of an event. And so I'm excited, and we're happy to provide it for you guys.
Yeah, and Tony, if you're listening to this and you don't bring your 5280 belt to the LVOS championship, I don't know why you even came, man. Got to get 2 belts.
We could
Belt number
unify
2 right here.
No, that's very cool. So more about LVO. Are you ready? Are you prepared?
I think so. One of the things that has made me a little anxious this time is I usually drive, being from the West Coast, and now I have moved to the other side of the country, and so like there's a lot more like physical loadout things I am not doing that I would usually do in the lead up to the event. But that's another area where certain community leaders have really stepped up to help me, because there are so many people helping make sure that the hall is set up, terrain is going to be ready, prizes are being delivered. That normally I would do a little bit more of that myself, and so I think it's one of those things that look, I work on this for the last, let's say, 8 months or so, getting everything ready and tinkering. At this point, if I'm full on freak out about an element of this, then what was I doing for the last 8 months? So at this point, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And if something is ready, then it is ready. If something is not, it's not. But we have 109 tables of terrain being provided between Frontline and the community. We have 128 players that have already signed up on Longshanks between the 2 events that are ready to rock. And I've seen a lot of enthusiasm out there from the people that are attending. So, I think LVO's here, and we're just all along for the ride, baby.
That is awesome. I'm so excited. And is there going to be a stream for the event?
There will. We picked up a new streamer this year, Imperial Goldfish,
Okay.
who does streams on YouTube, is covering the event. They're a Northern California-based group, and there's going to be a set of streamers that are coming from that YouTube channel. They're going to cover Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all 4 or 3 games each day, depending on the day they will be covering, and they'll be covering both the GT and the LVOIS champ. So they're going to do it all, and we're really excited for them to enjoy and be part of this event as a new streamer.
That's awesome. We'll link them in our description, and also we're having a watch party in Oklahoma for the LVO, so it'll be good. It's exciting. I just love watching the LVO stream. That's one of the ones I remember watching Dave Grant with the 6-act Vader Insanity. And just
yes, the people's champion.
Yes, so I just love stuff like that. I like the Welcome to Vegas sign and all the on one of the tables. It's just cool. It's a fun event, and I'm excited. I'm glad we're able to participate in some way with this belt. So we're through LVOIS 2024. We're on the cusp of LVO 2025. What is the future of the LVOIS? Is this a one-off, or are we going to continue to next year?
So for those of you who have kind of seen the system develop over the last year, next season is actually already underway. So one of the things that we kind of realized throughout this process was that as you get farther into November and definitely into December, the chances of somebody who wins an event being able to actually go to the LVO starts to go down dramatically, because if they weren't already planning on going, it usually doesn't give them the time to buy a ticket, get the hotel squared away, take care of their flight, all that good stuff. And so what we did is we actually have already offered events that were late 2024 the chance to count for 2025 instead. Or if you know, hey, my community is ready for the next step, we're pretty much past this last season, then you can sign up for a 2025 event already. So that is already underway. There are over 20 events that have already been approved and are on the schedule. Right now, the website is a little in flux because we wanted to make some physical updates as well as content updates to get us up to speed for the new season. And we also share the space with the Marvel Crisis Protocol and Tyson, who started the project. So things are updating a little slower than I'd like, but the important thing is that you can apply for a 2025 event right now. And then here in the next week or two, everything will be updated for the new season, so you can see all the new events, the archive data for the old events, and etc. So we are planning on continuing, and like I said, that's already all in motion. And on top of that, we've expanded in a couple different ways that we wanted to do things that were not only helpful for people running an approved qualifier, but also could benefit all TOs across the community. And so one of the things that I've already kind of linked in a couple public places, but will be on the LVOIS website, is a set of graphics and templates that you can use to create a poster for your event, or an Instagram square because you want to post something on the store social media. And it's a template on Canva. So you open it, the template is already filled out, and then you just put your store specific, your event specific information on it. It comes with all of the new branding for LVOIS MCP, LVOIS Legion, and if they do Shatterpoint, we threw that in there because maybe one day they'll add Shatterpoint to it. But anyway, so you can use those tools already, and we wanted to do that to enhance the branding for the next season, so your events looked bigger, better, and more people wanted to attend. And then to take that one step further, we also partnered with Jerry's Game Shop to create tournament organizer support kits that are also LVOIS branded, but don't have to be. If you want to do it more generic, you just ask him, he'll flip it over. And then now you can go, hey, I can spend $50 and buy a kit that'll provide prizes for my top 8, a trophy for the winner, and then a little card that says, hey, you're invited to the Las Vegas Open. And so we wanted to do a couple things, like I said, to kind of enhance the overall experience and answer some of the questions that we got when we did a survey of TOs who ran events this past year, but that also benefit the entire community, and anybody can really use to kind of fill some of the gaps that the current organized play structure might have in your community.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm glad you're partnering with Jerry's Game Shop because he's actually my friend and he's a really cool guy. And so I'm glad that you're doing that with him. And it's really cool. I remember one thing when I won my World's Invite. I loved the little card that was like the Emperor wants you. So I think something like that adds to it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and Jerry is so good about like taking a concept that I have in my mind and just sprinting with it. Not running with it, sprinting with it, because as soon as I told him that, he's like, "Oh, I know what you need." And they're these little, like, they look like little pieces of Beskar cards. Oh, they're so good. And if you're like, well, I don't know if these kits are going to be worth it for me, but you're at the LVO or you watch the stream, we actually are going to have 16 of these kits with us for sale if you want to buy it and bring it back to your community to then run an LVOIS or not, or even a normal store event. It does not have to be one of our events.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, hey, these are cool prizes and I want my community to have them, take it. That it is there to be purchased and brought back home, and you bet we're going to be sending all of those home so that more communities can enjoy that material.
That is awesome. Well, that's good to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. So I'm excited. LVOIS 2025. We're going to be doing it, I'm sure, in our area, and it's going to be exciting. Jerry's one of our locals, so I'm sure those kits will be around. So I'm excited to maybe get my hands on one, and that'll be great. I'm glad you came on to talk about this. I'm excited for LVO. Anything else you want to add? Any closing thoughts?
Just if you're interested in attending and you think, hey, there's somebody in my community going, or I've never been to LVO before, or I'm already going to the LVO, but maybe I'm playing another game system and I want to check Legion out, it's not too late to talk to me. There's always ways we can make it work to fill those last couple spots because there's always drops, but somebody has paid for the space and the table is there. So we will make sure it gets used throughout the course of an event. And so, we want to encourage everybody to attend. We want to encourage everybody to watch. We would love for people to check in and see how things are going on Longshanks. Both the champs and the GT and our Sunday doubles event are all already up, so people can kind of see how those go. We have a painting and a table competition that we'll be throwing pictures and videos up for throughout the weekend. And there'll be people dressed up. There'll be people doing ridiculous things. There's probably going to be a lot of alcohol involved. And I somehow get spanked every year. So look, it's a good time. And everybody enjoys it. Everybody has fun. And I simply would not be doing the things that I do with Legion if it was not for events like LVO. And I always encourage people to check out and go to these big events, because big events trickle down to your local communities, and your local communities are the driving force that make these events big. And it's all part of this ecosystem that I love to be a part of. And it's the reason why I'm going to continue to do it. You're going to see me at LVO, you're going to see me at Worlds, and you're going to see me continue to attend these because I love this stuff.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on. I love talking to you, and I'm excited for LVO. So
Sweet. Thank you for having me.
And this is Matt again, back with Randy and Mitchem. Thanks again to LJ. That was a lot of fun talking to him. And LVO is very exciting. So I'm glad we got to cover that. And moving on from LVO, after January 18th, we're looking at the 2025 roadmap.
Yeah, let me throw that up for anyone who's watching the video, and also just for us to keep track of a little easier. So we ended 2024 with Sleeper Cells and Riot Control Squad, the mid Sleeper Cells and the uber Riot Control Squad that everybody loves. No, maybe.
They
No?
look good. They look great.
They look great.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a new mission coming out and Riot Control Squad are just gonna like totally cook on it or something.
I guess that's the only way where it makes sense that they release them, because when we did the interview with them, when they release models, they're so far behind when they come up with, because we were asking questions about what commandos, and they're like, oh man, those are like a year and a half ago for us and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, pretty much every interview is them just trying to like
try to remember like what
version of things are you playing
on? What state of the game is this?
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they have something in the books.
Mm.
I hope they do.
I want to see Riot Control on the table. I think they look so cool.
They look so good.
It's such a cool concept. I've seen so many amazing paint jobs people have done with them. So I want to see them. I think I want to see Empire in general, but I want to see Riot Control.
Absolutely. We have crab droids and aqua droids coming just around the corner. Do you guys remember which one is coming first?
I'm pretty sure the crab droids are available for pre-order right now.
I think aqua droids are as well, aren't they? Well, I could be wrong.
Yes, I think so.
I think those are first. We've been hearing about those. So I think
they've released the cards for both of those. You can see what the boxes look like. Speaking of the boxes, what do you guys think of the new boxes, the new design?
It's growing on me. On me. At first I was like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? I thought it was change for change, but then I saw those dice in the store and I was like, that actually I'm kind of digging it. And I saw the box preview for the aqua droids with the art on there. I think it was working for me. So I'm into it now.
Yeah, I think the art looks really good. It's a lot cleaner. I think it's a lot more professional, realistic. I don't know. It seems like they're trying to get away from like the Clone Wars animation style and try to make it their own and lean more into the live action stuff. So yeah,
it's like a more live action Clone Wars style, I guess. Kind of like an in between. Yeah, I feel that way. I think I'm still partial to the old logo, but after seeing the boxes, I do think those boxes are going to be more eye attention grabbing when you're walking by in the store. Because I do feel like sometimes like I will just, if they move where the Legion boxes are, I will miss it and have to like turn around and look, because at a quick glance, they're just black boxes. So
Yeah.
throwing the orange on there, I think, will probably help with that. And yeah, they do look good. They look good in person.
And we've talked about aqua droids and crab droids a little bit. I think consensus is they're both going to be very solid units.
New play style for droid players for sure.
Yeah, I think crab droids are going to be cracked, and aqua droids are just going to be beefy, walls pretty much. They're just going to be running behind. You run them up into the tooth of the enemy, and then you have your second wave behind them.
I think droids are in a good spot currently as it stands. So good for them. I'm excited to see a lot of droids. I know there's a lot of droid players that have been kind of suffering for a while, so it's good to see them kind of have some good EXD notwithstanding.
Sure.
I don't that doesn't really feel like a droid list to me, but that's good. I like it.
Well, cool. So we've got that's Q1. That's probably January and February release.
Well, the only thing we haven't seen anything on is the ARF troopers.
Right.
haven't
That's
seen a
also
car
Q1. So I think
and the
that
detachment Jedi either.
I think that's probably going to be coming in March, is my guess.
Yeah.
Just the way they do stuff with announcing it, they kind of do the scenes to stats stuff. Like pre-orders usually like a month or two ahead of time, and then a month ahead of time they show the card. So I think it'll be like close to Adepticon.
Yeah, these guys look sick. I'm super excited for them.
How much is that Jedi attachment going to cost?
It's got to be a 50-point minimum, right? Like
it's gotta be
they
more than
can't have a
that.
Jedi be cheaper than Force Push.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that's going to be what that does exactly, and what it costs is potentially going to be huge.
I think it's more than just a melee profile, because like just looking at the mini, he's not swinging a sword; he's doing something with the Force, right?
And attachment.
You think it's
versus,
going to be like a Padawan, or you think it's going to be like a full blown Jedi Knight?
It might be like a baby Force user. Attachment is a new thing. We're not sure exactly what they're doing with that.
Oh, it's attachment, not detachment.
Yeah, it's attachment, and I don't know if that is like adding a commander to your ARC troopers.
It could be I guess this is in clones. So because clones had that special clone commander spot, that all the clone troopers have, that like Fives and Echo, and they have that extra upgrade slot or whatever.
Yeah.
So that could be this.
Yeah.
Maybe
it could be, but they called it an attachment. I don't know why they would name it something different if it doesn't do something different. But we don't know. But I think
do we think it's going to be running independently from the unit?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer, but it's kind of we don't know a lot, and it could be very strong.
Yeah.
If you put something that was 40 points and had a Jedi melee profile, and you could just stick it in ARC troopers just as a unit upgrade, that would be insane.
Sure.
So I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure they're going to be only for ARF troopers. They're not going to let you bring it for any other unit, probably.
Yeah, just throw it in charging arcs, guys. It'll be fine.
No. They said at Adepticon they could go in arcs. I don't know. We'll see. ARFs look like a long range unit. Jedi doesn't feel like a long range unit to me, so I don't know what the synergy is there. I'm assuming there will be synergy, or they wouldn't have put it together.
Yeah.
So
will these guys have red saves?
Yes.
They have to. They're clones.
Are they surging red saves or not is the question.
Well, that doesn't matter. They generate surges.
Yeah,
I think
everywhere.
The only thing that's going to be different is their gun profile.
Yeah, it looks like range 4 guns to me. Those are all the DC-15.
Yeah.
So
I feel like something has to be different with them than marksman, though.
Yeah.
That's true.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I asked the white save question. Just because
Because marksmen are going to be
What
the opposite.
what's going to be different?
Because ARF troopers are going to be a core unit choice, right?
ARFs are special forces.
They're special forces. So
okay. So they're the opposite. So they're the opposite of
Yeah.
ARCs.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
marksmen are the other clone
Yes.
option. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot. We don't know a lot about them. I'm looking forward to any kind of preview they'll show to us, but that's kind of where we're at.
I would imagine that marksman would probably be maybe a surging black dice natively, and then you have some upgrades that give them like red dice, maybe. I don't know. Make them more in range 4 guns. So similar, maybe to like range troopers
They'll probably be able to bring the DC-15
or shores
or whatever.
Well, I don't think there will be a DC-15 upgrade anymore because they're going to be in ARF troopers.
The marksman had.
Well, I mean, the upgrade still exists for ARCs, right? Oh, well, I guess that one has the letter at the end, right?
Yep,
to make a difference.
Yeah, DC-15A.
X or whatever. It's a sniper.
I see. I thought that was going to be just the marksman's like default gun.
Oh,
Ooh.
But
okay, that's fine.
But they'll be surging white saves with low profile. That's kind of what I thought ARFs would be, was surging white saves, low profile.
That'd be interesting.
Then they'd be really vulnerable in melee, but then you bring the Jedi attachment to make up for that if you're willing to spend the points. That was my thought. I'm probably completely wrong. Don't listen to me. Obviously, they don't. Otherwise, there'd be more Shadow Collector releases.
Yeah, we can
It
speculate.
seems like a lot of points for a melee unit and a melee model and a ranged unit. So.
Hey, man. In 2.6, melee's always about to happen.
That's true.
Attachment is doing something different, and I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out
Attachment could be like old detachment.
It could be an independent mini. It could be doing its own thing. It could be like a counterpart almost, where it just kind of goes and does whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there is this terrain coming out as well. I think it's just extra terrain. They've pretty much talked about they don't want to tie missions to any specific kind of token anymore. They like people being able to just have a generic token, and then if you want to hobby up your own, giving people the freedom to do that. So you can throw away your bomb carts or do whatever cool hobby stuff to them. They're not gonna bring those back. So
yeah.
So just some cool scatter terrain here. I feel like you need a lot of this particular piece though to make it fit in.
Yeah, it looks like a bombed out building almost.
You need at least like 2 or 3 boxes.
I don't know what all's in the box, if that's the whole box. I'd hope not. But
I mean, it probably goes good with most like desert terrain tables, I'm sure. Yeah. Some cool terrain. Hopefully it looks a little smaller, so hopefully a little bit cheaper than some of the offerings they've had in the past. Like, I know the X-Wing was pretty expensive. I mean, you can get it pretty decently priced on sales and stuff, but yeah. Okay, so that moves us out of Q1 into Q2, and this is when we should start seeing a lot of the resculpts, and I think when we'll probably... Oh, well, before I go too far, Adepticon is happening there at the end of Q1 at the end of March, so we'll probably get a lot more announcements. I'm sure this whole chart will get all mixed up, and everything we're saying now will be a bit tilted, but that's okay. They've pretty much said, yes, new core boxes are coming, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that here in Q2 or 3. Or, I mean, there's a lot of space in Q4 still, but I feel like they'd probably want that out sooner than later.
Yeah, for sure. I think, and of course, that's probably one of the things that's most needed is a new core box.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that's a dual faction core box or like a single faction starter box, but we just need something that's more current with the game.
Do you think the Battle Force box was the test bed to see, like, here's the single faction box? Or
I think so. I mean, well, even if it wasn't, I think the success of the Battle Force boxes would, force them to do faction individual boxes. So, and I mean, those are still the Battle Force boxes are still the best bang for your buck, even today. So
there's something about a dual faction core box that I like as far as like getting into the game standpoint. And I think there's a lot of history with games doing this kind of boxes. I think is a way to get people into the game. I don't know as a more mature game if that's necessarily where we're at, but I think if as far as getting new people into the game, I think it's really easy to get a dual faction, play with a buddy, and then kind of build from there. So I'm kind of torn because as a veteran player, of course, I'm like, yeah, the battle forces are what I want. But as a new player, I feel like it would be good to have a starting point.
Yeah, I could see it going both ways.
Yeah,
sure.
Maybe they'll do a seasonal core dual faction box where it like changes every year or two. I think other games do that where like new edition or new big update, they'll do a different dual faction box kind of thing. I know there's way less factions and Legion versus other games, but I don't know, they got options for sure. But either way, all those boxes have been really good values as far as army skirmish games go. Definitely good bang for your buck. But yeah, Q2, we'll start seeing the hard plastic resculpts. I know everyone's excited about that.
Yes.
First, they got the Stormtroopers here. I did want to pull those up just so we could.
And if you're on podcast and not looking, they all look great. All the hard plastic stuff we've seen looks fantastic. And
so I wanted to pull this one up because I think we were all confused when we saw this picture.
Mhm.
Like, why is there one unit leader in all these minis? That was before we knew about double-sized squads, so it seems like the new unit expansion box will have enough for you to bring a supersized squad.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I guess it will be good for new players, right? Because then you're buying way less boxes to accomplish that.
Mhm.
Sure.
But I would like to see maybe a trooper upgrade if like that's where you get a second unit leader, so you could get like two normal sized units out of one box. I don't know. That might be
you're some painting away from maybe having a second unit leader.
a little bit of green stuff for the shoulder pad there.
Or maybe
yeah.
or 3D print a pauldron or something, and then you're cooking because you have enough models. Just some way to differentiate it.
Yeah, the only thing you're going to run into is just not having enough heavy weapons for. But again, you can 3D print some stuff, or.
I just am excited. These look good. I don't want to make a declaration on the podcast. I might though. If Gungans aren't coming out, I might start buying and painting Empire because I like the way these guys look.
Oh yeah.
Signed, sealed, delivered, baby.
If riot control was an indication of how good these guys will look.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. Is these look?
Man, we really need a droid player on the podcast though. Man,
we need an Empire player.
We need an Empire player.
We need an Empire player too.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no. I've been kind of thinking about it for a while, and if
Empire's got a lot of fun units and fun commanders and stuff you can play. So
I just been gunking.
Yeah, the hard plastic stuff looks great. I'm super pumped, super stoked.
And the Rebel stuff, is that coming next? Yes. Okay.
Yes. I love all the alien heads they're adding in here. That's been one of the funnest parts of the sleeper cells is all the heads are swappable for each sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
These look so much better than the Rebel Troopers.
I love the Twi'lek heads. I think they look great. I have Rebel Trooper units coming out of my ears, but I'm gonna get me a box of these because they look sick. So,
ion guns there. That's all you need, baby. You're good to go.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I really dig the Moncal dude as well.
So good.
We're getting underwater forces, guys. It's coming.
Yeah, they aren't gonna waste that time they spent sculpting that head by not. But no, they look great. I just love the hard plastic. Going from soft plastic to hard plastic within clones has just been, so big. The models are just so much better. So I'm just excited for Rebels and Empire to experience hard plastic core troopers. It's a game changer.
Oh no. Okay. Wrong one. Right. And then of course they're also redoing the Scout Troopers as well.
Yeah, those are
Let's
good
look
too.
at them. They still play pretty well, I would say.
I like the sniper rifle guy on that. That sniper rifle looks sick.
Yes. I think the sculpt on that's so much better.
The saboteur, the detonation guy too, with the landmines and the bag, that looks really good too.
The detail on these hard plastic models are just
Yeah,
far better.
yeah.
So, and Scouts, I think Tempest is something that is still pretty popular in Empire, and so this is something you need in Tempest. So,
For sure.
I'm going to pull it up, but they're also redoing Commandos. And I wanted to take a second to talk about them because I feel like Commandos currently are not in a great spot. Aaron, one of our, I don't know how to put it, big staple in our community. Commandos was his bread and butter, and I know he's been trying to get them to work some. And Sleeper Cell was kind of like the final nail in the coffin for these guys, I feel like. So do you guys feel that the great Rebel Commando update is coming?
I hope so. It's tough. I think they didn't necessarily change. It's like the game changed around them. You know what I mean? And so I think there might be some lag to try to catch up with these units because, I mean, they were solid. I think in Rebels and that was something Aaron, who is a good player, would do all sorts of cool things with them. And I think now the game's so close, they can hit really hard, but they do not like getting up close. They do not want to deal with three.
They don't have that double black dice pull that Scouts do.
Yeah.
So their sharp one doesn't quite hit as hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. They want to live at range 3. So that means if they're closing to an objective that they're going to be close to objective.
I kind of wish the detonator guy hadn't changed to just be a melee thing. Because I feel like those mines would have been really interesting in 2.6. Being able to scout out there with those guys and throw a mine down on people running in. So
these sculpts look great though, but
I like all the Twilight guys. I feel like those Ryloth episodes is that their planet?
yes.
Yeah. And Clone Wars really
The free riders or whatever.
Yeah, really showing their influence here with these Twilight freedom fighters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Like all the color and stuff really pops.
Yeah, I feel like all the weapons have a lot more detail in them too. I like the grenade satchel as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if they hit the table. I know because like strike teams got changed, but the commando unit card didn't necessarily get changed at all. So I think, or maybe it did. It just got changed to say detachment to update the strike team keyword or something like that. So we'll see. I think you're right. With Sleeper Cell and the way the game is right now, there's just no reason to bring them, I think. Unless they bring some new missions that kind of change the range bands. And I think that's really the only way to really utilize the entire your entire unit pool is to find a way to change the range bands by altering the missions and stuff like that. So we'll see. Hopefully that's in the works because those are cool models.
Yeah, they look great.
And to get away from the Civil War here a little bit, Q2's also when we've got Ahsoka coming.
Hey, there we go.
Unfortunately, I don't think you'll be able to take Commander and operative Ahsoka at the same time, Mitchum, but
No, probably not. That's okay.
are you more excited for one of these than the other?
I'm definitely more excited for Commander Ahsoka, just because that's one step closer to the Mandalore Invasion Battle Force from season 7 of Clone Wars, and hopefully like Bo-Katan and Rex and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm more excited for Ahsoka for Commander. It's gonna be interesting to see what the difference is between the two. I can totally see Padawan Ahsoka being like a detachment of Anakin or something like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm assuming Commander Ahsoka will be an operative or will be a commander. I could see her being an operative as well. But yeah, I think Padawan Ahsoka is definitely an operative. So
What's funny is I know you've been having some woes with Ahsoka and Rebels. She might be getting new command cards here.
yes, she will. However, the Rebel cards got changed to be Rebel only. So I'm assuming that these are going to be Gar only as well.
It'd be nice if they weren't.
Yeah, it might be a Luke situation because the Rebel one is the older one, so it would make sense that she could take
That is true. That is
her
true.
younger version cards.
And I would be down. Maybe that's what she needs. I think it's just going to be interesting because like her younger version has a lot of synergy with clone troopers, and I can see them doing like replicating that in the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really kind of curious to see how they do the command cards. Like, are they going to so like Commander Ahsoka will have 3 command cards, and then like Padawan Ahsoka will have like 1, because Rebel Ahsoka has 4 command cards. She has her 3, and then she has a buddy one with Sabine. So and I'll give her 8 total command cards available to her, which is, I think, the most out of any unit in the game.
Yeah.
But there's also not a unit in the game that has 3 versions of herself. So
Correct. Right. Maybe since they're situational, right? Because some of the Rebel ones, some of the Rebel ones are like they only do half a thing without Sabine, right?
Yeah.
And so some of these Gar ones might be the same way. So like you wouldn't want to take those.
Sure. I could see it being 2 and 2. I mean, I would like Commander to have like a full 3. And maybe the operative version won't have any. So
I'm excited to see how I'm assuming operative Padawan Ahsoka fits in the 501st, because there's an operative slot in 501st that no one's ever used, and I'm assuming that's what it's for.
yeah,
And
she'll have to have. I bet she'll have a team up with Anakin.
that'd be super fun. So
she probably will have 8 command cards. She probably will, which is just insane. But again, there's 3 versions of her.
Okay. So moving right along, around this time is also when Mini Stravaganza should come. I believe it was July last year. I remember listening to the stream, driving down to LSO while my poor wife was driving the car. And I was like, oh, wow, we're almost to Texas. And she's like, yeah, we are.
Yeah, we did that too.
Oh, man. But yeah, I don't know. I guess Adepticon will kind of show us how crazy the mini Strav announcements will be. I'm hoping Adepticon we get some talk about mission packs coming up. They definitely sound like they have some in mind. But yeah, speaking of card packs, it's right there in Q3. The updated faction card pack should be out and available. The print and play will finally be able to put that aside and go get those card packs. It looks like they've got one for each faction and as well for mercenaries. Not sure what the breakdown will be on that. Like, I don't know if as a Ewok player, if you can just go get the Rebel card pack or if you'll need to get the mercenary pack for that. I'm not sure what the breakdown is. I could see that being the case just because that might make the packs really lopsided if they don't do that, but we'll see. We'll see what the breakdown is.
Yeah.
So faction card packs, and then also we've got another slew of resculpts coming in. This one, so Rebel Heroes, I think some of these were super necessary. Looking at you, Han, looking at you, Leia, there was definitely some issues going on with some faces there. But what do you think? I think these look great. They're really leaning into this Luke medal ceremony outfit for the commander, which I think is cool. I really like the episode 5 jumpsuit a lot, but I mean, it's a leather jacket, man.
It's pretty sweet.
He's like,
It's kind of crazy because he didn't really wear that outfit to the end of. He wears it one time when he gets the medal, right?
Yeah.
So he never holds his lightsaber in the gun.
one
Yeah.
5-minute
It's
scene.
that one
yeah.
scene. Yeah.
I am a little sad that this is a buy for me, even though I don't play Rebels because of the Chewie model.
Yeah,
It's a good
that's-
Chewie
That
sculpt.
was my main thing. I mean, that
Yeah.
Chewie model looks so much better than.
It's a buy for me just because of the Chewie model.
Yeah.
Because I think Han, Leia, and Chewie are possibly the 3 worst hero models in the game.
Only made worse by the Chewie for the ATST.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened there, but like this Chewie looks fantastic.
Yeah.
No, they all
These
look
are
good.
all.
Yeah.
I love the dynamic poses. I love Leia and the indoor battle, which is great.
Tactical rock.
The
Yeah.
sculpts here and the modeling and just looks so good.
The OG operative Luke sculpt, like, I mean, the sculpt looks good, but I think I might prefer the pose on the OG one. But I mean, that's not bad at all. I'm hoping the foot can be like, can I put like a stormtrooper helmet under his boot or something? I don't know. We'll see.
Figure something out.
Anything's possible.
The pose on the Commander Luke is not bad either. When he's like going like this, kind of.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like that pose a lot too.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, the Han pose, I don't mind either, but the Leia pose is bad. I'm not a fan of that.
The Han pose is fairly similar to what this new pose is. I think this is just done way better.
I kind of would love to see him like in a full sprint, like running away from the stormtroopers,
Yeah.
like full sprint kind of stance. But
Nice.
do you wish they'd gone for different outfits on Han and Leia? I mean, I guess that's Leia's most combat ready
Iconic.
outfit, but
Mhm.
I mean, Han,
and
I don't think you can do any other outfit with Han. I mean, I guess you could do him without the long leather,
without the
trench,
jacket, yeah.
without the trench coat. But yeah, I mean, print Leia. I mean, you have this outfit or her like all white, like "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope" outfit. You know,
Or the Hoth.
or
That's Hoth specific. But
I
yeah,
thought you were gonna go slave Leia outfit. but,
I was
yeah.
not going to go with that. No, so I think this is probably the correct. If you're picking one, I think this is probably it.
I mean, these are all episode 6.
Yeah. Well, except for the
Minus the Commander Luke, yeah.
You know, there's a theme. So
that fur on Chewie looks so good. I'm just excited. It's gonna be good.
And then Rebels aren't the only one getting all the
I
love.
hope all the Wookiee models get some love like that.
Getting resculpts for Vader and Veers. I think the Veers looks cool. This Vader pose is fine. It's not like super inspiring to me. There's just a lot of cool Vader minis already in the game.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is just fine. I mean, it's borderline meh.
I think the cape's gonna have to do a lot of the heavy lifting for this one for me for how cool the model is. Which might be beyond me as a painter, but
Is the one where he's like standing on the rock with like the hand up, is that a special edition Vader? Or is that just like a custom sculpt that I've seen? Where like his cape's whipping behind him.
Yeah, I
He's got
know
the
you're
saber
talking
in the-
about.
Yeah.
Is that just not the Commander Vader?
No.
Okay.
Commander Vader's kind of like this one, but he's like a little more.
He's got his fist out though, isn't he? He's
walking.
Is that what is the operative one? Is that the one where
he's the one we got the
walking?
lightsaber up like this. It's like coming out here. Yeah, it's like he's like doing that.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people do like the painting on his face, like his lightsaber's glowing and
the
stuff.
OSL,
Yeah. That's probably my favorite pose. But no, that Veer's model looks so much better than what. I love the big helmet, the Darth helmet,
the Darth helmet
look and everything, and the old time military pants that are big, poofed out and stuffed into your boots and stuff.
And then clones are going to start getting some more love in Q3 on their resculpts as well.
Yes.
I don't know if this is were they already hard plastic?
Phase 2s were.
Phase 2s,
but this is more for the reorganization of the box in general. But yeah, there is your.
And these will come with heads for phase 1 or phase 2.
Yes,
all the sets will.
Is there going to be enough to do a supersized squad here though? Because it does not look like it.
It does not look like it, but this is far enough away they might
these models don't even look like they're manufactured yet though. This is just like
this
renders,
is yeah, so they might.
And I mean it's those are probably all the poses, right?
Yeah. I'm hoping
just might be 2 of
at Adepticon we get some actual like painted looking ones and stuff like that. So
they're gonna be good.
They look good.
They're gonna be good.
They look good. I like it. Clone Infantry also very solid. I might try to play some with them this year. I think they're slept on a little bit. Well, they got overshadowed by arcs, but I think they're solid. This is interesting.
Yeah, and here's the marksman. So this is definitely
a double
squad.
Can
run your super squad here. Yep.
Yeah.
And they have the rocket and the mortar.
We've got the rocket launcher back here.
Yeah, and the mortar. So this is the range 4 guys. These are the range sit back and they all have the DC-15.
I just don't know what that looks like, and I don't.
And they all have fins too, which is kind of crazy.
If they're red safe still, I definitely don't think they're bringing reliable. Like they'll have to get their surges from somewhere else, I think.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious what a range 4 clone unit looks like in current.
Do they have target?
What do they have? You know,
they're gonna have to have something.
I don't know if they have long shot like Shores do to go to range 4, like the range 3, and then it goes to range 4. But I feel like they'd be range 4 with the DC.
They're just gonna be range 4 because that's what DC-15s are. I mean, they're still gonna be black dice, right? They're not gonna give them all red.
So are these gonna be the clones, vets / shore troopers?
That's a good question.
Like that, like filling that role, will they be speed 1?
That's a good question.
I'd be really scared of a core unit that's better than Clone Infantry already, because Clone Infantry are basically red safe with a surge access.
Yeah. I feel this is the unit I feel like that's going to be walking the razor's edge of either being way too good or being completely irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Like the tightrope walk here will be tough.
Honestly, I think they're going to make them very similar to Clone Infantry, and it's just going to be the heavy weapon upgrades that are going to be different. I mean, why else? I mean, I think that's. I mean, how else do you change them enough to make them, like you said, not?
I think you make them a little more killable, but a little.
I think you give them range 4, you give them reliable, and then you give them the RPS.
I don't know if you give them reliable. I don't know.
Maybe you don't.
I don't think they'll have reliable.
I mean, they're gonna have something.
I think aim generation maybe. That seems to fit the range, but yeah.
Well, okay.
Let's just say this: if they have reliable, you might have to talk me back off the list.
But if they don't have reliable, then why would you ever take them? Because like range 4 doesn't matter in the game.
Yeah, that's where there's if they have some kind of offensive.
That's why I think you have to make them as close to Clone Infantry to make it a choice.
Maybe, but if you bring these with a lot of arc snipers too, that might feel really bad.
Yeah.
I just played against Colton and he brought all like 8 snipers, and it hurts. If you're dead by the time you're walking up to the objective, it's effective. So, and clones could do it. Depends on what these guys can do. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'm very curious. I'm hoping we get some more love at Adepticon. I imagine we won't get anything until then. So I think the only really like leaks that we've gotten is from Gray Squadron Gaming talking about how the changes to Iden, all the changes to Iden,
Jin?
stuff like that.
Jin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iden's already good enough. Ugh.
Jin, and then they've alluded to Lando and Callus, so probably a big change coming to
Contingencies.
Yeah.
And flaw. And I mean, Anakin doesn't have a flaw anymore, so they'll probably get rid of the flaw stuff as well.
Okay, Q4. General Grievous on a wheel bike.
I'm super pumped for this.
I don't know
I'm
how I feel
super
about.
pumped for mounts.
I'm torn.
I'm confused about this.
Go ahead, Matt, because I think
Okay.
you're of the same mind as me.
Okay, so we took vehicles carrying people away,
Yep.
and we're now giving heroes their own vehicle that I'm assuming is going to be good, right? Like, of course, like this should be good. Like, it's not just going to explode. So how is that going to affect? I feel like you're in an interesting territory balance-wise, because if this is a red saving, some kind of armor hero vehicle with speed 3, probably some kind of climbing ability, because this thing was driving up and down hills. Like this thing's crazy. You know, like how is that? We took away carrying core units and vehicles, and now we're giving heroes better, you know, like vehicle. It's like I just don't know.
I mean, heroes could do that before too, like in the X-34, Luke could hop in there. So I
think that's the reason why they took it away.
Yeah, to
make
do these,
mounts.
which I don't know how I feel about that. So like I hope the design space is super interesting. So let me ask you this, Mitchem, because I know you did play AOS, and there's mounted heroes in that game, right?
Yes.
And how did that work there? Like when you kill a mounted hero, they're just dead, right? They don't like hop off their mount and keep fighting. Okay, so it's going to be a more expensive, more mobile.
Correct. Yeah.
Version
So typically, what it was the mounted hero had more wounds and had a bigger movement speed. So usually, like in AOS, it's inches. So like a foot hero was like 5-inch movement and like 5 or 6 wounds, and then a mounted hero, depending on the mount, was anywhere from 8 wounds to 20 wounds and stuff like that. So, and some, but some mounts were like they're on dragons or like, whatever. So, yeah. So, but there's no way for the hero to jump off the mount because once you kill the mount, it's dead. So
it's like a separate unit.
It's a whole separate model. Yeah.
Points wise, it sounds like these guys are going to be a unit and a half's worth, if not 2 units worth, I would think, if they're going to be worth taking.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they're going to be a vehicle's worth amount.
A big problem in the game that people talk about is like, oh, I deployed to this side. There's no time to get to the other side of the map to affect it. So maybe this is a way to do that. But again, like Matt was saying, which I totally agree with, it seems like that was already in the game before. But
the pro I can see from this specifically is I think this would make Invasion Force a lot more interesting. Is Grievous on a wheel bike? But
for sure.
Yeah. And the wheel bike's just cool. Let's be honest.
It's cool. It is cool.
That is also a fact.
I can't argue with.
I would love to see Obi-Wan on his like gecko.
I want to say Varactyl. Is it Varactyl? Is that what it's called?
Oh my gosh. Star Wars nerd entered the chat.
Wow, goodness.
Oh man, if he's wrong, make sure to flame him in the comments.
Yeah, come on,
everybody.
guys. Yeah.
I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I just looked it up.
I'm going to go ahead and get into 2026 a little bit here too, just since we're talking about mounted units already. They also teased a Han and Luke on Tauntauns. Is this one unit?
I think that's the biggest question. From what I assume is that it's going to be 2 separate units. Like just like the Grievous on a wheel bike, it'll be Han on a Taun and Luke on a Taun.
Han on a Taun.
Han on a Taun. It won't be like it won't be them together as a single unit. It'll be like a commander.
I might push back that it might be like as.
I mean I can agree because a single unit of Tauns has 2 models in it.
Right.
So
and then they showed both of them here. To me, it's like Delta Forces to Commandos, right?
That's
like
exactly
yeah. This would be it's less Luke and Han on Tauns and more this is a souped up Taun unit.
Yeah, and I'd be totally fine with that.
If they're together, is that the most expensive unit in the game?
Besides Bad Batch?
No,
I don't know. This could easily just be Tauns with 2 more wounds and a better melee and range profile.
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't know how many more.
This is not going to be. There's not going to be a lightsaber.
Like 100. Like it could be 140 points, but still white saves, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
do you think this has force powers?
No. This does not change the fundamental, like what a Taun unit is. The only thing that's different is like it's going to be unique because it's Han and Luke.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think you can still bring the Han commander and Luke operative commander if you want.
I don't know if you'll be able to do that. I don't know if you'll be able to do that. Yeah. I think it's going to have a black dot.
Interesting. So it's not going to be like, oh, I guess Delta Force doesn't have anything. Okay.
You can't bring Bad Batch both echoes. So there's already a little bit of precedent.
Okay,
so.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then that's the case. These are still a special forces unit. Like they're not, or a support unit.
Yeah, support
unit. Yeah,
they're not anything but a souped up Taun. I think what you're saying. They're a Delta Force Taun unit. I think that's exactly what they're going to be. If that's the way they go. But
like I don't even know if you can bring their command cards.
No.
With this.
No.
Han's kind of makes sense still. Luke seemed really weird.
Yeah.
With this, but I don't know.
I don't know what to think of all these vehicles. Hero mounts.
I think that's the best comparison I can give right now is I think it'll be kind of like Delta as to Commandos. Like this is a souped up version of that. So I don't know.
You know, a lot of in AOS too, a lot of times you would pay the points for a regular like on foot commander or whatever, and then you have to pay extra to get him on a mount and stuff like that. So, which is kind of the same thing. So like they could just what they could do is have you bring Grievous, and then you pay another 80 points to just basically have the same unit card, but now he's on a wheel and he has like maybe one more. He has a speed 3 movement or something. Like he does like one extra thing. So it's not like a completely different unit, but it's just like, okay, he's quicker now, and maybe he has a little bit more health, and maybe like armor 1 or 2. But so they could just treat it as like an upgrade.
I don't know.
So.
The Grievous one makes me think one way, and then the Han and Luke make me think the other way. And I think it'll be completely dependent on whether that Han and Luke are one unit or separate. Yeah. Also, Q1 2026 Imperial probe droids. I don't know how I feel about this. I think lore wise, it's great. I love seeing them. I love seeing these minis. I have no idea what they'll do.
Yeah, kind of
maybe a cheap shove-in unit that does something similar to Maul's probes.
Okay, so here's
spotting and stuff like that.
Here's my far out of field idea. It'd be cool if they like allowed. I'm thinking they should get infiltrate, but maybe if they allowed you to deploy in some weird way, like they find something because they're like probe droids. I don't know. Probably just more observes if I had to
Like
guess.
you can drop
But,
them in, and then you can deploy within range 1 of them.
yeah, maybe that'd be cool. Because they found the rebels and then the Empire showed up. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're cool. I'm glad they're in the game. I'm like anything flavorful Star Wars in the game. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Your suggestion there, Mitchem, it'd be cool, neat if, like the commando token, what if that was like attached to a unit like this, right? Like they have a bubble of effect around them. They're probably not super hard to kill, right? But there's something you'll want to take them out because they
give
make
buffs to...
Yeah, the buffs would be too bad to sit there for 5 rounds, but I don't know. That'd be interesting.
That'd be cool. A movable...
We got to figure out these bubbles anyways, because if we're going to be playing Gungans, Matt, we're going to be all standing under giant bubbles, right?
Yeah. Giant shield bubbles.
I don't know what you're signed for, Matt.
I need Adepticon.
You're getting them before I'm getting a new mercenary force.
I need Gungan info like I need water. And
we need signs of life.
We need signs of life. We need H2O stat.
I need an army to paint for this year, and I would like it to be Gungans.
Hey, 52 models comes at you fast, man.
Yeah. So, and like I said, I got to get going. So I need it. I need Gungans.
Dude, just paint an Ewok army. There you
go. They also have this Imperial High Command coming. We got Thrawn. Is that an alternate Krennic?
It's a new Krennic.
Yeah, it's a new Krennic.
Then Tarkin, and then Tag.
Tarkin. And Tag, yeah.
Oh,
I guess Tag. So that's cool. A Tag. Say Thrawn, obviously.
So these are just. This is like Becky, but different models.
I think they're going to be a step above that.
I hope so. You can't give Thrawn the Becky treatment.
That's why I was hoping they would each get their own like unit card and stuff.
I think more like Kalani and Kraken.
Oh, okay. So like a step above a generic.
Yeah,
but
that's
not
they might also like character. Each have their own unique command card they bring. That's kind of what I think.
I think Thrawn needs to be straight up better than Krennic, and I think Thrawn needs to be tied.
Who's to say they won't do another Thrawn later?
Yeah,
right. Because Krennic's here.
What is this? A full unit? This wouldn't be.
I don't think so. That's wild.
Yeah, there's no way.
Okay, so here's what I think. I think this is the counterpart to the Heroes of the Rebellion expansion,
and
so I think they're going to flesh out Tarkin, Tag, and Thrawn. Is my thought and hope,
and that's just a Krennic resculpt.
Yeah, and that's just and then they do with Krennic. Krennic's fine. So yeah, Krennic resculpt would be
That's a young Thrawn too.
We're one step closer to zombie stormtroopers with Krennic or Thrawn.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
I hope they need to give Thrawn the love that he deserves because he's awesome.
Give Thrawn his flowers.
And honestly, Tarkin, he deserves to be in the game. He should have been in the game a lot longer. So,
no, I'm into it. So
I don't know.
think the character expansions are going to be kind of a new thing. So I'm excited to see the direction those go in, because that's not how they've been doing it before.
Yeah. And then I didn't grab a picture for them, but there's also a Obi-Wan and Grievous resculpt coming as well. It wasn't on the timeline there, but I assume it's coming around when those other when the Luke and the Vader resculpt's coming too.
Yeah,
probably for the new core boxes, is my guess.
I think that's the general consensus on what everybody is thinking. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
So that's 2025. I'm like, again, lots of new announcements I'm sure will be coming through. Timelines will change. Yeah. Is there one thing in particular you're hoping for this year that they announce, or one of those things you're most excited about?
Nah, nothing. I think we're getting it all.
Yeah. I just want to see
everything after Q2 just doesn't matter. So
I want to see the Adepticon, how the timeline has changed. I want to see where we're at. I hope we're sticking to close to this schedule. Maybe adding more. I might be asking too much, but I just want to see where we're at.
I think a lot more is going to get added if they, because they said this year is going to be like that big Shatterpoint year was for Shatterpoint. And there was
A
a
lot.
ton for that game. So
Yeah. I am ready for the second half of this game to drop and be out, because I am tired of teaching new players and teaching them half a game, and then they're asking me about certain units, and I'm like,
just
okay,
wait to play them.
yeah, just wait, because this, and this, and everything. So I'm super ready. I'm ready for some more missions and stuff. Like we've been saying, faction specific missions I think need to happen. So yeah, I think April's going to be huge. So I can't wait to see what they do, and Adepticon. So yeah,
Matt?
Sweet.
we'll see. It will be right there, ready to tell the world
Is it time?
and
Is
break
it
it
time
down.
to talk about it?
Oh, yeah. If you want to. I guess. I don't know if these people are interested in a giveaway. I don't know.
Do people
Oh.
like giveaways?
A giveaway? I've never heard of a giveaway. What's that?
Yeah, we are going to be doing another subscriber giveaway to kind of kick off the new year, and just as a thank you all for listening and watching. Our next goal we're going to try and hit is 300 subs here on YouTube. So if you're listening to Spotify and want to just take a brief trip over to subscribe and comment on this video or the next video, I don't know, Matt, do you want to? I'd be cool with doing Spotify comments, but I feel like Apple ones are hard to track is the only thing.
Yeah.
Is what we've had. So
We can do Spotify comments for
We
sure.
can do Spotify because those are easy. Apple ones, I mean, that we have a way of checking. So
Yeah,
Okay.
keep
we'll
an
take
eye
a
on
look.
them.
We'll take a look.
So
Yeah.
comment on this episode or any episode until we hit 300 on YouTube. So I would go sub on YouTube because that's going to be the number we're looking at for the sub giveaway. And I think we're going to do like a $30 probably Amazon gift card because we want this one to be international.
Yep.
So
Yep.
this one's going to be open to anybody. And we it's not safe for us to promise any kind of unit. Stock is like
Yeah.
Oh my
wild
gosh,
right
yeah.
now.
We
So
cannot.
so this way you can either get something you want on a sale or you can hang on until the new stuff comes out, that sort of thing. So
yeah.
I think we'll just go that route. So yes, be subscribed and comment, and then once we get to 300, we'll announce a winner on the following episode. And I think if you're the winner, we'll have a place for you to send us an email and show us your account being subbed, kind of thing. I think that's the easiest way because I realized the last time we did the giveaway, we didn't give a great way to reach out, and so luckily I was able to find our winner on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we did it that way. But
that was fun.
we're getting this YouTube thing, this content creator thing down, so we'll figure it
We're
out.
working on it.
Yep. And if you want a direct line to us, the Instagram is a pretty decent way. If all else fails to get a hold of us, we do see the messages there as well.
Yeah.
We saw the comments on YouTube as well, and I feel like we reply to basically all of them.
A great way to leave us a comment is to tell us what your hobby goals for 2025 are. So make sure you're subscribed.
Yes.
Drop us a goal, and then there you go. You're going to be submitted for the giveaway. So
If you want to on Instagram, let's do like hobby harassment 2025 hashtag.
yeah,
Let's get that going. And
Yep.
I'll try and tag all my posts for the year on there with that. So
Yeah, I'll try to upload my
that'll
stuff
be
as well.
cool.
So
yeah, it'll be good. All right, cool. Goals, stuff for 2025, giveaway. Am I missing anything?
I hope not. Thank you if you made it this far. This is a bear of an episode to get through. So I'm glad you got this far. I heard about the giveaway. So
Yeah. We'll announce it earlier in the next episode. But if you made it this far, you got the early line here.
Yep. You're ahead of the
All right.
curve already. So
Well, cool. Thank you for listening, watching, subscribing, commenting. You guys are awesome. And I hope you guys are excited for a great year coming up of playing Legion. And just remember, X and O is just a game away.
See ya.